For Russia's rivals, this news can be considered not only bad, but also shocking. Just a few hours ago, the Russian Federal Nuclear Agency officially announced that the Russian army has a new generation of nuclear charges for air defense systems. It is reported that the latest charges have been developed since the mid-2000s and have been in service with the Russian army since 2020. Exact data on the latest nuclear charges are not reported. But according to preliminary data, one such charge is capable of destroying dozens of air targets within a radius of 5-6 kilometers. S-400 systems have always been famous for their ability to destroy targets located on a horizontal surface as well. This means that one S-400 battery can completely destroy not only an entire squadron of combat aircraft, but also an entire tank regiment of a potential rival. Looking back on history, it is worth noting that nuclear charges in anti-aircraft missile systems are not something new and unique. The first air defense systems that began to use missiles with nuclear charges were the Soviet S-75 and S-25 systems. Yes, it was Russian engineers who were the first in the world to create a nuclear charge that could be installed on anti-aircraft missiles. However, these nuclear charges had one drawback. They were not small, weighed more than a ton, and cost a lot of money. All these years, Russian engineers have continued to work on mistakes, and judging by the latest data, now Russian air defense systems also have missiles with a compact nuclear charge, capable of destroying not only one aircraft, but an entire NATO squadron. This indicates that now the North Atlantic Alliance can forget about an instant strike against Russia and use its main trump card: strategic aviation and numerous fighter jets. According to Finnish intelligence, Russia has already installed dozens of the latest S-400 systems on the border with Finland. Whether these systems are carriers of missiles with nuclear charges remains a big mystery for the worried Finnish military and their masters in NATO. If Russia equips the naval version of the S-400 system on its warships with such missiles, it will also completely nullify the entire power of the US naval fleet with its aircraft carriers. But in reality, the most shocking factor for the Western military remains the presence of compact nuclear charges on hypersonic missiles of the S-500 system. It seems that the Americans' love of breaking all the rules and unilaterally withdrawing from all possible agreements has led the United States into a real trap. It was the US withdrawal from the Intermediate Range Nuclear Forces Treaty that forced the Russians to act, and to act very harshly. Moscow has finally realized that any agreements with the United States are worthless, and that every new administration of the White House cannot be trusted. The Kremlin has finally realized that the only deterrent factor is force. The United States can only be stopped by force, not by agreements. How the Russians managed to create such compact high-power nuclear charges remains a secret. So, to sum up, a terrifying picture emerges. Now Russia is armed with not only fifth-generation intercontinental ballistic missiles and hypersonic missiles Kinzhal and Zircon, but also with anti-aircraft missile systems with compact high-power nuclear charges. But that is not all. Since 2022, Russia has started developing the world's first kinetic energy air defense systems. The first tests of these latest systems are scheduled for 2028.